The book of Ezekiel, chapter 44, verse 1, Ezekiel 44 and 1, Ezekiel the 44th chapter, and the first verse. The outer gate. Then the man brought me back to the east gate of the temple area. We were outside the gate, and the gate was shut. The Lord said to me, "This gate will stay shut. It will not be open. No one will enter through it, because the Lord of Israel has entered through it, so it must stay shut. Only the ruler of the people may sit at this gate when he eats a meal with the Lord. He must enter through the porch of the gateway and go out the same way." The holiness of the temple. Then the man led me through the north gate to the front of the temple. I looked and saw the glory of the Lord filling the Lord's temple. I bowed with my face touching the ground. The Lord said to me, "Son of man, look very carefully. Use your eyes and ears. Look at these things and listen very carefully to everything that I tell you about all the rules and laws about the Lord's temple. Look carefully at the entrances to the temple and at all the exits from the holy place. Then give this message to all the people of Israel who refuse to obey me. Tell them this is what the Lord God said. Family of Israel, I've had enough of the terrible things you've done. You brought foreigners into my temple who aren't circumcised and haven't given themselves to me. In this way, you made my temple unclean. You broke our agreement and did terrible things. And then you gave me the offerings of bread, the fat, and the blood, but this only made my temple unclean. You didn't take care of my holy things. No, you let foreigners have responsibility of my holy place. This is what the Lord God says. A foreigner who isn't truly circumcised must not come into my temple, not even a foreigner living permanently among the people of Israel. He must be circumcised, and he must give himself completely to me before he can come into my temple. In the past, the Levites left me when Israel turned away from me. Israel left me to follow their idols. The Levites will be punished for their sin. The Levites were chosen to serve in my holy place. They guarded the gates of the temple. They served in the temple. They killed the animals for the sacrifices and burnt offerings for the people. They were chosen to help the people and to serve them. But the Levites helped the people sin against me. They helped the people worship their idols. So I'm making this promise against them. They will be punished for their sins. This is what the Lord God said. So the Levites will not bring offerings to me like the priests. They will not come near any of my holy things or things that are most holy. They must carry their shame because of the terrible things that they did. But I will let them take care of the temple. They will work in the temple and do the things that must be done in it. The priests are all from the tribe of Levi, but only priests from Zadok's family took care of my holy place when the people of Israel turned away from me. So only Zadok's descendants will bring offerings to me. They will stand before me to offer me the fat and the blood from the animals they sacrifice. This is what the Lord God said. They will enter my holy place and come near my table to serve me. They will take care of the things I gave them. When they enter the gates of the inner courtyard, they will wear linen clothes. They will not wear wool while they serve at the gates of the inner courtyard and in the temple. They will wear linen turbans on their heads, and they will wear linen underwear. They will not wear anything that makes them sweat. Before they go out into the outer courtyard to the people, they will take off the clothes they wear while serving me. They will put these clothes away in the holy rooms. Then they will put on other clothes. And this way, they will not let people touch those holy clothes. These priests will not shave their heads or let their hair grow long. The priests may only trim the hair of their heads. None of the priests may drink wine when they go into the inner courtyard. The priest must not marry a widow or a divorced woman. No, they must only marry a virgin from the family of Israel or a woman whose dead husband was a priest. Also, the priest must teach my people the difference between things that are holy and things that are not holy. They must help my people know what is clean and what is unclean. The priests will be the judges in the court. They will follow my laws when they judge people. They will obey my laws and my rules at all my special feasts. They will respect my special days of rest and keep them holy. They will not go near a dead person to make themselves unclean, but they may make themselves unclean if the dead person is their father, mother, son, daughter, brother, or sister who is not married. After the priest has been made clean, he must wait 7 days. Then he can go back into the holy place. But on the day he goes into the inner courtyard to serve in the holy place, he must offer a sin offering for himself. This is what the Lord God said. About the land that will belong to the Levites, I am their property. You will not give the Levites any land in Israel. I am their share in Israel. They will have a right to eat the grain offerings, the sin offerings, and the guilt offerings. Also, anything in Israel that is a special gift to God will belong to them. And the first part of the harvest from every kind of crop will be for the priests. You will also give the priest the first part of your flour. This will bring blessings to your house. The priest must not eat any bird or animal that has died a natural death or has been torn to pieces by a wild animal. Ezekiel chapter 45, the division of the land for holy use. You will divide the land for the Israelite tribes by throwing lots. At that time, you will separate out a part of the land. It will be a holy part for the Lord. The land will be 25,000 cubits long, 20,000 cubits wide. All this land will be holy. A square area that is 500 cubits long on each side will be for the temple. There will be an open space around the temple that is 50 cubits wide. In the holy area, you will measure 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 cubits wide. The temple will be in this area. The temple area will be the most holy place. This holy part of the land will be for the priests, the servants of the temple. This is where they approach the Lord to serve him. It will be a place for the priests' houses and a place for the temple. Another area, 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 cubits wide, will be for the Levites who serve in the temple. This land will also become cities for the Levites. And you will give the city an area that is 5,000 cubits wide and 25,000 cubits long. It will be along the side of the holy area. It will be for all the family of Israel. The ruler will have land on both sides of the holy area and the land belonging to the city. It will be next to the holy area and the area belonging to the city. It will be the same width as the land that belongs to a tribe. It will go all the way from the west border to the east border. This land will be the ruler's property in Israel, so he will not need to make life hard for my people anymore. But they will give the land to the Israelites for their tribes. This is what the Lord God said. Enough, you rulers of Israel. Stop being cruel and stealing things from people. Be fair and do what is right. Stop forcing my people out from their homes. This is what the Lord God said. Stop cheating people. Use accurate scales and measures. The ephah and the bath must be the same size. A bath and an ephah must both equal 1/10 of a homer. Those measures will be based on the homer. A shekel must equal 20 gerahs. A mina must equal 60 shekels. It must be equal to 20 shekels plus 25 shekels plus 15 shekels. Lord, that sounds like word problems in elementary school. My God, someone figure that one out if you can for me, because I wasn't a mathematician. This is a special offering that you must give. 1/6 of an ephah of wheat for every homer of wheat, 1/6 ephah of barley for every homer of barley, 1/10 bath of olive oil for every core of olive oil. Remember, 10 baths make a homer, and 10 baths make a core. And 1 sheep for every 200 sheep from every watering hole in Israel. Another word problem. All right. Those special offerings are for the grain offerings, for the burnt offerings, and for the fellowship offerings. These offerings are to remove the sins of the people. This is what the Lord God said. Everyone in the country will give to this offering for the ruler of Israel, but the ruler must give the things needed for the special holy days. The ruler must provide the burnt offerings, the grain offerings, and the drink offerings for the feast days, for the new moon, for the Sabbaths, and for all the other special meeting days of the family of Israel. He must give all the sin offerings, grain offerings, burnt offerings, and fellowship offerings that are used to make the family of Israel pure. This is what the Lord God says. In the first month, on the first day of the month, you will take a young bull that has nothing wrong with it. You must use that bull to make the temple pure. The priest will take some of the blood from the sin offering and put it on the doorposts of the temple and on the four corners of the ledge of the altar and on the posts of the gate to the inner courtyard. You will do the same thing on the seventh day of that month for anyone who has sinned by mistake or without knowing it. So you will make the temple pure. Offerings during the Passover. On the 14th day of the first month, you must celebrate the Passover. The festival of unleavened bread begins at this time. It continues for 7 days. At that time, the ruler will offer a bull for himself and for all the people of Israel. The bull will be for a sin offering. During the 7 days of the festival, the ruler will offer 7 bulls and 7 rams that have nothing wrong with them. They will be burnt offerings to the Lord. The ruler will offer 1 bull on every day of the 7 days of the festival, and he will offer a male goat every day for a sin offering. The ruler will give an ephah of barley as a grain offering with each bull and an ephah of barley with each ram. He must give a hin of oil for each ephah of grain. He must do the same thing for 7 days of the festival of shelters. This festival begins on the 15th day of the 7th month. These offerings will be the sin offering, the burnt offering, the grain offering, and the oil offering. Ezekiel 46, the ruler and the festivals. This is what the Lord God says. The east gate of the inner courtyard will be closed on 6 working days, but it will be open on the Sabbath day and on the day of the new moon. The ruler will go into the porch of that gate and stand by the gateposts. Then the priest will offer the ruler's burnt offering and fellowship offerings. The ruler will worship at the opening of that gate and then go out, but the gate will not be shut until evening. On the Sabbath day and on the day of the new moon, the common people will also worship the Lord at that gate. The ruler will offer burnt offerings to the Lord on the Sabbath. He must provide 6 lambs that have nothing wrong with them and a ram that has nothing wrong with it. He must give an ephah of grain offering with the ram. As for the grain offering with the lambs, the ruler can give as much as he wants, but he must give 1 hin of olive oil for each ephah of grain. On the day of the new moon, he must offer a young bull that has nothing wrong with it. He will also offer 6 lambs and a ram that have nothing wrong with them. The ruler must give an ephah of grain as an offering with the bull and an ephah of grain as an offering with the ram. As for the grain offerings with the lambs, he can give as much as he wants, but he must give 1 hin of olive oil for each ephah of grain. When the ruler goes in, he must enter at the porch of the east gate, and he must leave the same way. When the common people come to meet with the Lord at the special festivals, whoever enters through the north gate to worship will go out through the south gate, and whoever enters through the south gate will go out through the north gate. People must not return the same way they entered. My God, that sounds good. Let me read it again. People must not return the same way they entered. Glory. Each person must go out straight ahead. The ruler should be there among the people. When the people go in, the ruler will go in with them, and when they go out, the ruler will too. At the festivals and other special meetings, an ephah of grain as an offering must be offered with each young bull, and an ephah of grain as an offering must be offered with each ram. As for the grain offerings with the lambs, the ruler can give as much as he wants, but he must give 1 hin of olive oil for each ephah of grain. When the ruler gives a free will offering to the Lord, it must be a burnt offering, a fellowship offering, or a free will offering. The east gate will be open for him. Then he will offer his burnt offering and his fellowship offerings as he does on the Sabbath day. After he leaves, the gate will be shut. The daily offering. Every day you will provide a year-old lamb that has nothing wrong with it. It will be for a burnt offering to the Lord. You will provide it every morning. Also, you will offer a grain offering with the lamb every morning. You will give 1/6 ephah of flour and 1/3 hin of oil to make the fine flour moist. It will be the daily grain offering to the Lord. So they will give the lamb, the grain offering, and oil every morning for a burnt offering forever. Law of inheritance for the ruler. This is what the Lord God says. And who is the ruler? You keep mentioning the ruler. Who's the ruler? If the ruler gives a gift from the part of his land to any of his sons, it will belong to his sons. It is their property. But if the ruler gives a gift from part of his land to one of his slaves, the gifts will belong to the slave only until the year of freedom. Then the gift will go back to the ruler. Only the ruler's son will keep a gift of the land from the ruler. And the ruler will not take any of the people's land or force them to leave their land. He must give them his own land to his sons. And that way, my people will not be forced to lose their land. Pop quiz question. Who's the owner of the land? Can be very confusing. All right, the special kitchens. The man led me through the entrance at the side of the gate. He led me to the holy rooms for the priests on the north side. There I saw a place at the west end of the path. The man said to me, "This is where the priests will boil the guilt offering and the sin offering and will bake the grain offering." Why? So they will not need to bring these offerings out into the outer courtyard. So they will not bring those holy things out where the common people are. Then the man led me out to the outer courtyard. He led me to the 4 corners of the courtyard. Who is this man that's leading him? I saw smaller courtyards in each court. That's another pop quiz question. I saw smaller courtyards in each corner of the large courtyard. There was a small enclosed area in each of the 4 corners of the courtyard. Each small courtyard was 40 cubits long and 30 cubits wide. The 4 areas measured the same. There was a brick wall around each of the 4 small courtyards, and there were places built into the brick walls for cooking. The man said to me, "These are the kitchens where those who serve at the temple cook the sacrifices for the people." All right, a lot of technical information, but this is the word of the Lord. Follow, like, share, and subscribe. Encourage others to join in with us as we read through the Bible. Hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, hit the arrow at the bottom of the screen to share the video. And again, put in the comment section, "This is the word of the Lord." Share this